This is the Recteq DualFire 1200 wood pellet smoker grill, and I've been cooking on it long enough to feel confident telling you what it's great at, what tripped me up, and who I think will love it. I bought it because I wanted one cooker that could smoke low and slow and also hit real steakhouse sear temps without hauling out a second grill. From my experience, the DualFire actually does that, and it does it with less hassle than I expected. My first impression was the build. It's heavy, solid stainless where it matters, and the lids feel substantial when you lift them. The sliding upper and lower racks are a small thing that makes a big difference when you're reaching for food in the back. I did have a tiny hiccup right out of the box. No printed manual. I had to download the PDF to assemble it. Not a deal breaker, just not what I expected at this price. Assembly itself went smoothly, and the parts aligned the way they should. The burn-in was easy. I primed the fire pot with a small handful of pellets, set both chambers to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, let it run for an hour, and the shutdown was surprisingly quick. The fan cooled it down in minutes, which was a nice surprise. Key features that stood out for me are the two separate chambers and the temperature control. One side is indirect heat for smoking and roasting. The other side is direct heat for high-temp grilling and searing. That layout changes how I cook dinner. I can run a pork butt at 225 degrees Fahrenheit on the indirect side, while I grill dinner on the direct side at 500 to 700 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't have to juggle schedules or move food between different cookers. Reverse sear is a breeze. For anyone new to that, it means bringing a steak up gently on the low temp side to around a 120 degrees Fahrenheit internal, then finishing with a fast sear on the hot side for crust. The DualFire makes that feel effortless because both zones are right there. The temperature control uses a PID controller. In plain language, that's a smart thermostat for grills. It feeds pellets and runs the fan in tiny adjustments to hold your set temp. On long cooks, my graph barely moves. When I did a 14-hour brisket at 225 degrees Fahrenheit, the swings were usually a degree or two. That kind of stability matters when you want predictable bark and doneness. The big pellet hopper helps too. It holds a lot, more than I'll burn in a typical weekend, and that takes the stress out of overnight cooks. I didn't wake up at 3 a.m. wondering if I needed to refill. On the high heat side, this is the first pellet grill I've used that fully replaced my gas grill. I've seen the direct chamber cruise at 700 degrees Fahrenheit and sometimes spike higher after repeated batches. Smashed burgers brown fast and stay juicy. Chicken thighs get that crisp skin without babysitting, and thick ribeyes take on a deep crust in a couple of minutes per side after a gentle smoke bath. In my opinion, if you've held onto a propane grill only for searing, you won't miss it here. The app is where my experience had two sides. The core stuff works. I can change temps from my phone, watch the meat probe readings, and check the cook history. There's a library of recipes and guided cooks that walk you through a process if you want training wheels on a new dish. The grill also runs fine without the app, and the on-grill controls are simple. The rough edges showed up on busy holidays. A few times the notifications lagged or didn't push to my phone. Playback of an old cook graph can be finicky. None of that ruined a meal, but it didn't match the rock-solid feel of the hardware. I'd love small quality-of-life tweaks, like a clearer fan countdown on shutdown or an integrated timer. If you're worried about relying on software, know that you don't need the app for the grill to do its main job. Cleaning and day-to-day use have been straightforward. The slide-out racks make scraping and wiping easier. Ash management is better than most pellet units I've owned, and the ceramic ignition has been reliable every single time. My only wish is a pellet dump door for quick flavor swaps. Right now I scoop or run the auger down if I want to change woods, which takes a few minutes. From my experience, the DualFire shines when you're cooking a full meal. One Saturday, I smoked a rack of ribs low on the indirect side while rolling batches of hot dogs and burgers for the kids on the direct side. Later that night, I cranked the hot side again to finish veggie skewers. On another weekend, I ran a Packer brisket overnight and still had the direct side free the next day for wings before the brisket finished resting. It feels like two capable cookers that share a brain and a pellet supply. It's perfect for someone who wants to consolidate. If you've got a smoker for ribs, a gas grill for weeknights, and a charcoal kettle for steaks, this can stand in for all three and save space. It's also ideal if you value consistent results. The temperature control lowers your chance of ruining a long cook. For new grillers, the learning curve is gentle because the grill does the temp management for you. For experienced cooks, the payoff is faster, more coordinated meals. I'd recommend this for backyard cooks who want serious versatility and plan to use both chambers often. If you only ever grill hot and fast or only ever smoke low and slow, you might not tap into the full value. If app polish is your top priority, you might notice the glitches more than I did. If you care most about build quality, stable temps, and searing power, this checks those boxes. Key features that matter to me are the stainless construction, the dual chamber layout, the wide temp range from 180 degrees Fahrenheit to 700 degrees Fahrenheit, the accurate PID control, and the big hopper. The casters and side handle make moving it around a patio doable despite the weight. The included meat probes read consistently. The brand support has been responsive the couple of times I called with questions. In my opinion, the hardware feels premium and dependable. The software is useful, but not perfect. The cooking results have been excellent across brisket, pork butt, chicken, steaks, burgers, salmon, and veggies. The convenience of running 2 temps at once changed how I plan meals at home because I'm no longer stuck in a long sequence of cooks. In conclusion, the Recteq DualFire 1200 earns a spot as a main outdoor cooker. It replaces more than it adds, and it's built in a way that inspires confidence. If you want one grill that smokes beautifully, sears hard, and stays steady without fuss, it's worth a look. If you grab one, do the burn-in right, keep the grates clean, and use the dual zones to your advantage. That's where the value shows up. If this video helped, hit subscribe and drop your questions or your own experience with the DualFire in the comments. Thank you for watching.